Hello and good evening, everyone out there in the wonderful world of Twitch. This is John here with Rook and Rasp. Welcome to Seriously Let's Play, the community building actual play where artists, creators, actors, fans come together for the love of the hobby. I am John Thompson, part of the leadership here. And this year we're coming back bigger and better than ever, meaning that we're focusing on some fresh indie games. And yes, we are going to be doing our IGDN Charity stream that last year raised over $1,000 for marginalized creators in the tabletop RPG space. And this year we're hoping to be working with IGDN to actually feature some of the recipients of last year's Diversity Scholarship as part of our games. But today we have joining us tabletop writer Danny Delisle, whose work can be found in games such as 7th Sea by Chaos Aim or John Wick Presents, the game Ironbound, Guardians of Novella, Torg by Ulysses Spiel, Dishonored by Modifius, Ninja Crusade 2nd Edition from Third Eye Games, and many more. So thank you, Danny.
Hello.
So we also are joined today by writer Graham Gentz, whose work has been included in the Level 1 RPG anthologies, as well as writing Savage Sisters, In the Tank, Under the Autumn Strangely, and more. So thank you so much for joining us, Graham.
You bet. And more might be my most popular game.
It is, I think. And we also have joining us today Asushunamir Arni, who is returning as a guest of Seriously Let's Play, has done various charity streams with us, and was the GM of the Shadowrun actual play Emerald City Nights.
It was a great time.
It was. And filling out our cast, we have Sean Parks, who has been a cast member of numerous actual plays, including Illuminated Page, The Voyages of, Camp Coldwind, Seriously Let's Play, and more. Everybody gets that. Did you know, Graham, you've worked with him before and more?
Well, that was the other anthology. I was on Level 1, which got Eddie nominated. We didn't win, but and more, I think. I'm really proud of the number of really, really strong creators that have all donated to that work.
Truly, it's probably my favorite game to play is And More.
Yeah.
Me too.
You also forgot to mention that I ran by Leaps and Bounties on this very channel as well. That people can go and watch. Sir.
Yes, she did.
That's amazing.
That would have been a game that
I was on that game.
Well.
You were.
And it was awesome. I was actually watching the infamous hat clip earlier today. I should have included that in my notes.
It happens to the best of us.
So, yeah. Scroll down and you probably, if you have Twitch open in front of you and are watching today, down at the bottom you'll see that we have featured clips, including that very clip we're talking about. The hat clip is there. You'll also notice that today we are featuring a charity button that is here on the screen with us. It is for the Hawaii Community Foundation. They are the home of Maui Strong right now, which is a charity that is specifically seeking to get funds into the hands of those who need it with the fires that happened in Hawaii recently. So I'm gonna say it. We say it a lot of times, but just a reminder: don't hit our subscribe button or right now. If you like what you see and are enjoying the content we make, just take a moment, go click on the button, donate to this opportunity, and let's all do something to believe in community action. So, that said, we're going to be playing a special game today. First time on this channel, obviously. First time that this game has had an actual play, and that is Wayfaring Strange. It's kind of neat. This is a copy that we picked up at the IGDN booth at Gen Con last year. My partner Rue was walking through the hall, saw Matthew Orr, and he's like, hey, this is a game that you should play, and this is a game that should have an actual play. And so if you want to know how this ended up here, talk to him. But the thing is that there were 35 copies only of this game that was out in production for this. So we have one of the 35, And it went up on Kickstarter. No, it was on BackerKit. That one was on BackerKit, so it is available, and hopefully will be coming soon from Joey Martin, who was going to be on the show with us today but could not make it. So Joey, absolutely love this, and I hope that if you're watching, you enjoy. So we're going to set a little bit of tone now out there in the wonderful world of my listeners. Give you a little bit of taste, and we'll drop our players into this game. So, somewhere on the forgotten highways of the United States, there's a man who walks the shoulders and hazard lanes, dragging a long pine box behind him by silver chains. You, our watchers and listeners, may have passed him without a second glance at one time. Nothing about him is too remarkable. His tattered brown corduroy coat and gray pants show more sign of a lack of care than stain, and the box, well, something about the box seems unimportant, as if your eyes are naturally drawn elsewhere. Brief thoughts then might cross your mind, ideas that might be foreign to your mindset and upbringing. Perhaps he's a religious fanatic, strange vagrant, or a deranged sociopath. Soon, however, the man is a distant shadow in your rearview mirror, and the uncomfortable thoughts are wiped away and forgotten. But for one of my players, as the sun sets and night comes, someone you loved who was traveling with you was snatched away. And in a flurry of shattered glass, debris, and screams cut short, whether it was speeding down the highway or sleeping in a motel, something came for the object of your love, and left just you. When the authorities arrived, they refused to believe you or do much. There was no proof of the struggle, and nothing could do with what you described. How can you not see who it was? Oh, it's such a wild story, followed by demands of tests for narcotics and your system. And it leaves you with little but no choice to investigate on your own. And frenzied hours turned into anxious days, followed by restless weeks. And mile by mile you search and search until a fevered dream. What you seek is in a box, dragged slowly on the lost highways of America. The sound of the wood scraping along cement and the practical casual footfalls haunt you in your dreams. This was the moment of your departure from the world as you knew it, and since then you find yourselves in a different America. One where roadside monuments mumble cryptic messages and ancient trees walk like men in the light of the moon. Now, with that said, why don't you, our table of wayfarers, please introduce yourself and who you are playing? Any volunteers? Or you want me to pick somebody?
Yeah.
I'll go first.
Oh,
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mol.
oh, thank you. I am Mel. Ever since losing my job in Manhattan, specifically a Manhattan law firm, I have been heading out here to the West Coast to try and get with some family in Los Angeles, wherein I met my token of affection between the East and the West Coast. And as you've just described, John, lost them very recently. But I'm not super versed in this new America, but I've got a long time of being in courtrooms and being diplomatic. I'm gonna find my guy. I'm gonna find my guy because he's my guy. And he's mine. And he's a guy. And he's my guy.
All right. Who would like to go next?
I can go. I am Dom, short for Dominic, and I live in Montana. I live in Montana, and I am familiar with the weird ways of the United States. and I have spent some time helping people navigate all of the strangeness in and around Montana. And I have joined up to this group to help them find the person they're looking for. And I spend a lot of time trying to study and seek guidance from other people and figure out how all of this stuff works. There are things that I have not told the group yet, but we'll see how that works out. For now, I feel appreciated in this group, so we'll see how that works
out. Sean or Ed?
Go for it, Pink.
Sorry, it's Graham.
So I'm playing Danny, not our Danny, but the character Danny.
Oh no! It's so the strange is starting.
Or Dan.
So meta. What?
No!
So Danny is a person that exists in both worlds. He doesn't have a home. The home is the road for Danny. And he is the person you go to when you need a talisman or an artifact that will help you navigate or find what you're looking for. He's also the one that's going to lead you on an adventure, and the one that is going to want to stop at every single tourist trap or roadside attraction that we see on the way, because there's going to be something hidden or something new to find there.
All right. Well, as John so kindly introduced, my name is Graham. I use he, they pronouns. And I'm going to be playing Ed the Apostle. Ed the Apostle is, to use a phrase I used before, a bit aggressively strange. More one foot in the other world than other. I think the toll of this liminal space traveling has really started to pull down on Ed's identity and personhood, and as a result knows how far this can go. So Ed is distant and bizarre and inhuman, but deeply protective and maternal of the other wayfarers that are around. Knows kind of what has been there, and that's become my major role in a severely indeterminate amount of time that I may be in or out of reality as we know it. That's Ed the Apostle.
Now, our weary travelers have sped along a lonely highway. The relentless wind of a dust storm is now pelting your windshield. So yes, you find yourselves together in truck traveling these highways. An orange storm that has transformed the day into a murky abyss, swallowing all signs of life and hope. And as your fuel gauge nears empty, you spot a flickering neon sign, shining like the North Star in the dark sky. So, as a GM for everyone here, this is Wayfaring Strange, giving us a little bit of idea what you're about to get into, but this game deals with this concept of the outskirts, the hidden places in America, strange and wonderful, and if not mystical ties that between the people and the places there. This game is going to have some interesting mechanics that deal with bidding wooden nickels between myself and the players. So it also has a lot of the feel of a cinematic shared storytelling style of game. And so I do want to tell my players, if you have a way that you want to describe an interaction as you're trying something or want to do something, please feel free. But let's go ahead and talk about that truck. In this truck, as it moves along, who's driving? Who would you say in your group is driving? So Ed, you're going to be driving?
I believe Ed is driving. Absolutely.
Okay. How do you see this? I mean, have you ever... It's a weird thing. I've done a lot of traveling in my life. Have you ever been in a dust storm before?
Many times.
Oh yeah. I'm from New Mexico, so it's a lot of dust. Hey.
I lived in West Texas.
Hey!
So yeah.
Yeah.
Woo!
Look at us. We got bam, 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 3 in a row. It's just one big dust storm, John.
There you go. So, so you're driving. trying to keep this rig on the road. It's not as difficult as some people might suspect, but it is very terrifying with the lack of visibility. What are the rest of you doing in the vehicle?
Make sure you're
I would
hydrating. Here, I got snacks in the back. I throw some fruit snacks into the back of the truck.
I catch one of them. I'd be sitting right behind Ed, just kind of timidly sitting there. Never been through a dust storm like this before, and just with the packet of snacks, I imagine it's one of those, nondescript fruit packets that has the weird ones that you can see through and the ones that you can't. The Scooby snack things, yeah.
I think it's the one where you pull one out and you're like, what fruit is this supposed to be? Like,
Yeah.
you can't even tell.
It's warbleberry.
Can't even tell the
Everyone
taste.
knows. Just kind of holding it like this and sprinkling it as I try to calm my nerves down.
Dom is probably sitting in the back, next to Mel, and trying to sleep, as a matter of fact, probably, and gets hit in the head with one of these fruit packs and wakes up. Ah! What's it? Ooh, that doesn't look good. Looking out the window.
Danny's gonna be in the riding shotgun, and he's got his feet up on the dashboard and staring through a river stone with a hole in it. Just looking out the storm, seeing if he can find anything.
Ooh.
All right. Now, does this Riverstone have any special properties?
Yeah, it's going to be a hagstone. It's a river stone that's one of the smooth river stones that you can find with a hole in the middle of it. And when you look through it, you can see through the illusions that the denizens of the strange can cast. You see the reality of it.
All right. So let's go ahead and get our first test of the game then. All right. You're looking out the window and into this storm that pelts the side of the vehicle. And the storm itself is not at all fake or an illusion. But you think that you see something in the mist, like something. The sand is parting around it, and you. Let's go ahead and get. I'm pulling up my tests right now. For your character, I'm kind of. Let's go with investigation. I believe would be a good one. Do you have the investigation talent?
No.
All right. So here's how the game works. With talents, you have something that's being called on that your character does not have. So this is a uncontested, or a test that's taking place between you and nothing. If you have the talent, you automatically succeed if it's uncontested. You're not up against someone. But in this case, you don't have the talent. You have two choices. You can spend one of your wooden nickels and automatically succeed, or you can flip a wooden nickel, risking it. On a heads, you get what you want. On your tails, it goes away and you failed.
Ooh.
But there's a chance you could hang on to that wooden nickel.
I have a quick question, John.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a visible and limited pool of nickels yourself, or do you just have?
I do. So depending on the NPCs that you are up against, you'll find yourselves facing different pools on them. So some creatures will have larger pools than others. I will say that in this game, when you're making anything, really, the more you put into it, the less nickels it starts with. So, yeah.
Cool. So I don't have anything to flip.
Oh. Well, if you have any dice handy or anything, you can do an odds evens.
Okay, I'll do that then.
So we'll go ahead and say odd is a success, and you're just risking 1 coin.
It's a 6.
All right, so can't make it out. Might be a cactus, might be a telephone pole, but thankfully your vehicle is not headed at it.
Hey, there's something out there.
Cactus.
We're good though.
Cactus.
Might be. It's not
Another
moving.
cactus. That one might be.
When did this all start?
Cactus.
About 3 hours ago. You've been asleep for a long time.
You can keep sleeping, though. We got a little time left.
There's a lot of cactuses out here.
Cactus.
It's the West. It's cactus and scorpions out there.
Now,
I
as
mean,
you-
not scorpions exactly, but they have like the face of scorpions.
Well, it's the body.
Well, the body's a scorpion.
We'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Oh wait. Oh, you're talking about those.
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay. Oh, don't scare me.
I go to grab your hand. You know, like.
Great, now you're scaring Mel.
Just, you know, be aware.
Sorry, Mel.
They're not real big.
Like the size of a cockroach?
Get a little bigger.
Like the size of a dog?
Well, there's lots of kinds of dogs. Is the problem?
Yeah. I mean, it's bigger than a Chihuahua, smaller than a Great Dane.
Well,
I mean,
should we
I've seen
find
bigger.
a place to pull over? Dom's desperately trying to change the subject so Mel doesn't get any more freaked out. Should we find a place to stop?
now there
Should
is
we be
the.
driving in this?
If you look up ahead, you do see a single glowing point of neon in the storm.
A Valero.
Might be a glowing cactus. All right. Well, I'm gonna drop the speed by about half and go real nice and slow up to the glowing neon signal to get a better look for everybody.
I assume we're not passing anybody on the road. Is it just us?
Just
Are
you,
we
as
passing
far
any
as you
other
can tell.
cars?
Cactus.
Cactus.
Now, a rest stop looms out of dusty gloom like a forgotten sentinel. Its weathered facade bearing witness to countless years of wear and decay. The parking lot, cracked and uneven, seems to echo as your tires come over it. Flickering lights atop a rusted pole cast an eerie glow, distorted shadows that dance in the swirling storm. So what are your characters going to do now that you appear to be here?
So, like, rest stop as in restaurant,
Gas station?
hotel-y, or is it more...
It appears to be a large building. You're going to have to go and investigate some. It's large enough that it could have several things within it. It's, it gives that kind of large gas station slash, highway rest stop kind of feel to it with that large circular drive that comes in,
Oh,
areas for
okay.
trucks to
Yeah.
pull into it, that sort of feel.
What time of day is it? Do we know?
It's
It
dark
would have been,
because of the
yeah.
storm.
Storm's thick.
Would have been
Could
afternoon.
be day, night, can't tell.
Oh, I haven't had
And
lunch.
it-
Might as well check
Keep
it
your
out.
eyes peeled, everybody. I'm at about 5 miles an hour. I'm gonna circumnavigate the building. Keep your eye out for anything. Let me know what you see, and I'm just
I say
gonna
we
pull
just go in and
all
see
the way
what-
around to the truck.
Let's just go in and see what they have for lunch.
Yeah, I really need to go to the bathroom.
All right, look, I don't trust the bathrooms here, but so do I. So, yeah.
As you,
I love the bathroom mechanic in this RPG. You get nickels if you have to go to the bathroom.
You don't see it very often. Bathroom mechanics.
well,
Yeah.
somebody's got
But
to
if it's a
repair
road
them.
trip game, I feel like it's essential. It's an essential form of immersion.
Well, as you're
One of the talents
going
you can
around.
have is bladder control, so you just can sit in the car for a long period of time.
You get a negative to that bladder control if you're drinking big gulps while you're on the road.
We don't say we don't say bladder control. We say liminal spaces.
Damn, Sean. Excellent joke. Man, my liminal space is feeling a little less liminal right now. If you catch my drift.
That's awesome.
But so you're circumnavigating this parking lot, and there's cars, a few cars here. One of them is even up on blocks. The tire's missing from it. But you get the feeling that that you and maybe if there's any staff here are the only ones.
And you said it was really like
I want
run
to
down,
circle.
really old. Did
Hmm?
you?
What was that?
It was really run down. Was it really like old?
It
kinda
does,
looking?
yeah. It has that run down, like, imagine the exterior. Yeah, as if you get a little bit closer to it as you're turning, it has that kind of pressed concrete with river pebble walls. You know, if y'all have ever
Mhm.
seen that, it's
Mhm.
very 70s, you know, kind of feel to
Ooh,
it.
okay.
Love
So
them.
do we see a bathroom sign outside, or are we gonna have to go in the building?
I will give that one to you, Danny. You do see a bathroom sign.
All right. Oh, stop!
Can you hold on just a little longer?
No.
I've been asleep for 3 hours. I need to go.
I told you, hydrating.
Look, somebody
Hydrate or
needs to
dihydrate.
go and investigate. I'll investigate while I'm in there.
I'll go with you,
Not
Dom.
on your own, you won't.
Yeah,
Mel's
it's
gonna
safer
come
in
with me.
numbers.
Thank
We
you,
both
Mel.
have to go.
I want to drive all the way around the building and then see like all the sides of it, and then park in front of the bathroom.
All right. It appears that, you know, this structure has just the two main entrances that, you know, with the hallway in between. Really nothing else that gives access to the building per se. So the double doors, but these are heavy and wooden from the appearance of them.
It hasn't been here a while.
All right, I pull up in front of the bathroom.
I immediately sprint out.
Yeah, Dom hops out.
Just careful,
We're like-
Mel.
Watch
Mel.
out for scorpions!
Well, they're not exactly scorpions, but you'll figure it out.
Is it an outhouse style, like single door, one person at a time, or? Okay.
Oh no, you're going to have to run inside.
Okay.
You're going to have to
okay.
actually go into the building. As soon as you get out that door, you have to push into the door of the cab to get out. The wind biting at your face and clawing at your clothes as you whip around the edge of that door. You feel like you're right in the middle of this thing.
Just the whole time that I'm pushing it open, I'm just like, I hate the West, I hate the West, I hate the West, I hate the West. And then just immediately shoot through the sandstorm, sand hitting against my face. Pull my jacket up around the side to try and like cover me somewhat, but of course that's when the winds change because we're in this area where the wind can just whip around the walls, and it just, in a sandstorm or a dust storm, there's just nowhere to escape. You're just gonna get dusty.
As Mel's running out the door, I'm gonna holler after. Don't give anybody your name if they ask for. Never mind. I hope he remembers.
And Dom's right behind. Dom's like running out right behind Mel.
All right. Well, getting out of the truck, you had some leverage to get in, but here at the front of the building, the wind is pushing the doors closed. You try and grab onto them to yank them open, and it is going to take all your strength to do it. Do you have the athletic skill or athletics talent?
I do.
You do.
good.
All right. You yank on that door. The creaking hinges echo, and you dart into this room. So who all went inside? Who all was going across the parking lot inside? All right.
I'll come up the rear. I'll grab a blue handkerchief and I'll wrap it around my mouth and I'll make sure everything's good in the truck. And lock it up, and follow behind everybody. Make sure nobody gets lost.
All right. Let's go ahead and Graham, as you are coming across the parking lot, after you've parked and locked up and everything, give me a investigation check.
How about survival? Can I do survival?
I would let survival go. Yes, absolutely.
Great. I have survival.
All right. So, as you're running through the sand, covering your eyes, blocking it with both arms, so you have that line of visibility just between the two. You are running, and off in the distance, maybe 100 yards away, right at the edge of the periphery of what you could see. I mean, it's like the wind kind of moving through these billows of dust. And you swear for a brief moment you see a figure, or at least the shape of a man, standing silently and quietly watching. But another billow
I'll
of
stop
dust.
running for a second.
Mm-hmm.
I'll squint and examine the cactus-like features of the man.
Just like features.
All right.
Just out loud. Cactus to no one in particular.
Okay.
I'll mouth it underneath the blue handkerchief that I have over my mouth. I'm just gonna go.
As you're looking at this figure, it begins to move as if to, who knows, but it's trying to hide. And this is going to be a bid.
Right.
So I'm going to start off by bidding 3. So
Great. Now, I'm very excited to unveil that I'm very good at this because I'm very weird. I have an ability which is stack the deck, which I have bonus and equal to my strange, which is 5. So I start at 5. So I'm gonna do 1 and go up to 6.
It is unable to hide from you. It seems to
Great.
dodge within the dust, as if the cloak that it's wearing catches the dust and moves rapidly. But it notices that your eyes follow it, and slowly
Does that mean
it
I get
begins
some
to
nickels?
circle. You would have gotten 3 nickels right then. I was going to give them up to you. Sorry about that. Should have explained. So, explaining to the viewers and everyone else, whenever a test is made in this system with the wooden nickels, whoever bids the highest and wins the bid gets the nickels that the other character bid against them. So, you have just gained 3 nickels. But it tries to circle away, trying to now put the building between you and it.
So one of my talents is apostle, as I am Ed, the apostle, which is I'm able to communicate and reach out to the strange in a trance-like state. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go through my liminal space, past the liminal space of the bathroom, where everyone is emptying their liminal spaces. And I'm going to have a simple Wayfarer handshake through this scope of what this sense of its entity is. Non-verbal, emotional only. A handshake, a wave.
Okay. And you're reaching out through the strange to this creature, or to whatever this is?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Whatever it is doesn't return this feeling to you. It is teeth and sinew. It is malice.
Well, I send a wave of calm, of peace, and then I sever the connection, and then I start walking, less running, more walking towards the bathroom door, while keeping my eyes on where I saw it kind of fading.
All right. Well, for those of you who are inside, now inside the air hangs heavy with the scent of mildew. A dimly lit room reveals rows of dilapidated chairs and chipped formica tables. The remnants of countless meals consumed by transient souls who have passed through this forsaken space. And a solitary figure stands within. A stooped and grizzled attendant whose weathered face and rheumy eyes flicker with a mix of curiosity and a little bit of trepidation as his hands tighten on a mop they were using moments ago.
Where's your bathroom?
Looks and just points down the hall a little further where there's a sign that says bathroom.
I continue to sprint towards the bathroom.
All right.
Tom will follow because he needs to go too. So we'll go down that way.
In this room, is there just booths or is there like counter seating?
A lot of not so much even booths. It's just a smattering of chairs surrounded by about four chairs surrounding tables, forming little groups. There's ways to make your way through.
All right, then I'm gonna just sit down at one of the tables.
All right. Now, once you have a seat, Dom and let's see. Yeah, it was Dom and Mel run off. Moments later, Ed, you come in and see a very similar scene. The interior of this building does kind of stretch out a bit, and you also see that there is the remnants of a convenience store in here as well.
Well, they just kind of made this a one-stop shop, didn't they? Looking around.
I'm immediately on edge. I'm doing threat analysis. I'm looking for exits. I'm eyeing the person to kind of see their intent. I'm walking towards the bathrooms as quickly as possible. I'm gonna nod at Danny as I go.
The person just mopping looks at you, and this, after a few moments, shrugs and continues to work.
Mm-hmm.
So for those of you who ventured into the bathroom first, obviously Mel, then Dom, you venture further into the rest stop. The air grows heavy with an inexplicable tension. The restroom doors creak open with a groan, their hinges protesting against the passage of time. Inside, a flickering light casts an eerie shadow that dances upon grimy tiles and rust-stained fixtures, barely illuminating the scene before you. Flickering lights continue an erratic dance and casting fleeting glimpses of the restroom's past. Shadows seem to lurk in corners and shifting with each flicker, as if the darkness itself might be alive. Every sound and every whisper of the wind that passes through the cracked windows amplifies the atmosphere, leaving you a little bit on edge.
These remind me very much of the bathrooms in the Bronx.
So, Danny and, Dom and Mel, you find yourselves here in this bathroom, still rushing in, I'm guessing?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm like, well, let's just finish up and get back with the others, okay? This is like really creepy.
I'm gonna knock on the bathroom door.
Well, really quick, what were you going to say, Mel? Asu?
Despite my extreme need to use the bathroom, I do stop for a second and kind of take in all of this very horror movie-esque situation we've got here in this bathroom. And just like going to the bathroom in the Bronx, I take an extra second to look around and double check am I the only other person in or around the bathroom area other than Dom?
Right this moment, yes.
Okay. Then I will go to the bathroom in that way where I hover over over the
Yeah.
bowl. It's
Yeah.
it's not fun. When I go to wash my hands, is the water because I imagine the water is kind of dark and murky, a little brown, for the first couple of seconds before it becomes clearer. Not exactly drinkable, but
Roughly. I mean, everything here so far has worked. I mean, for all of its appearance, the toilet flushed. It was all right. Wasn't the greatest, but at least it did its duty. Uh, eh,
Uh,
Har.
sorry.
but the sink itself, yeah, it has that moment actually more of you turn on the water and it's that brief spurts as it first starts up. The mirror over the sink though is broken.
Is it-
just standing and the shards are all still up there, but it's
Okay,
cracked and stained.
gotcha. This is less like the Bronx and more the Bronx specifically, and more like just the subway stations in general.
As soon as Mel is done, Dom will go into one of the stalls because he was out there making sure like nothing was coming in or whatever. So take turns.
And also, real quick, chat's given us each a wooden nickel.
Yep. So thank you, chat. Yes, everybody has gotten one wooden nickel, and we technically have a reroll, which will be a. What I'll let you do with the reroll for this system today, I'll let you say, you know what? I'm pulling my coins. I'll let you pull your coins from a bid.
Ooh.
So.
thanks, chat.
Now, as you're standing there, the glass bears some scars and blemishes, and what? So I know that Mel, you went in. How about for Dom? Are y'all? Is it? Let's go ahead and solve this issue. Are y'all in the same general restroom area?
I think so, because like if this is a creepy place, I would rather, and if it has stalls, it should be fine. So I assume we went to the same one, so we didn't have to separate too much. And like I was just waiting out in the main area while Mel used a stall, and then once Mel was done, I went into a stall while they were washing their hands.
Yes.
That's what I assumed.
Yeah, that's also how I was picturing it. I just didn't
Okay.
want to take over your character or anything.
I love this
that's-
as the dungeon crawl equivalent of like, okay, what's party order? We're going down the stairs. It's like, okay, who's doing the bathroom first in our road trip adventure? Okay, you
What's
just go.
bad?
I'll wash my hands. I'll palm the rear. I'll
Well,
look for
look,
traps.
if you've ever been on a cross-country road trip in America, you know that there are just those gas stations, those convenience stores like this where you don't necessarily want like everyone to go in and everyone to come out at the same time, or else bad
Yeah.
things will happen.
Right.
Especially if you're a woman.
Yeah.
I'm
I
gonna knock
drove
on the
from
bathroom door.
Vermont. I drove
go.
from Vermont to Texas, and we saw many of these things along the way.
You went from Ohio to Arizona.
Yeah.
Well, so there is the knock at the door, and
You all right in there?
Yeah, it's just
It's Ed.
it's just gross. It's just gross in here. We're okay. Thank you.
Sure. It's gonna be gross. You should prepare yourself. It's gonna be gross.
all right. Now, you wash your hands. You start to walk out, and the flickering lights continue that erratic dance. And the sounds get more and more chilling. Now, Dom, as you come out of the stall, looking into the reflection of the mirror, around the corner you see that there is a man standing, or actually walking, dragging a pine box.
In the mirror?
In the mirror.
And to be sure, only Dom sees this.
Yes.
I turn and look over my shoulder to see if it's there or just in the mirror.
When you turn to look, it's Mel walking towards the door.
Son of a... Okay. This is not good. This is not good. This is not good.
Dom, you okay?
Yeah.
Is it a cactus?
It's not a cactus. I wish it were a cactus. It's not a cactus. I think we need to get together with the others and talk.
Okay. I will hold the door open for Dom as we scuttle out of there.
Right.
So you're all back in that central area. The double doors, these large wooden doors, they have that look of ancient pine that's been nailed together with the wrought iron nails. So it's very solid, holding everything in. But there's a set at both sides. Your restrooms were right here. On the other side, you see this convenience store area, but this entire chamber is just filled with the tables and chairs. Dan sitting down, and this man that continues to mop in there and just not paying much attention.
Now, the guy that's mopping, has he moved any, or is he just kind of mopping the same spot over and over again?
You know, he takes a few steps ever so often and starts again, but just seems to be moving at a, snail's pace.
And there's no one else, like, working in here except for him?
Not that you see.
Okay.
I mean, you're welcome to go check out the convenience store area, but...
I'll wait till everybody gets back. I don't want to disappear and have everybody, panic.
I will say,
That would not be good.
as soon as me and Dom leave the bathroom, I first get like visual confirmation where Danny and Ed are, and then I will immediately walk up to the mop guy. And in New York, you experience a lot of very weird, very creepy people. So I'm not exactly, how to put it, as cautious as one should be in this sort of situation. So I just immediately walk up to him and say, "Hi, we just came from the road. Do you know where the next gas station is after this?"
As you walk up, his hands kind of tighten on the mop as he kind of looks up at you. Yeah, there's a gas station a few miles further down the road, about maybe about 20, 30 minutes from here. I don't know if I'd be going back out in that right now. And
Oh, no, of course not.
just kind of tenses up with even as friendly as you are around him.
I still standing there, will look over at Ed and say, Ed, next gas station's 20 or 30 minutes. Do you think we should get gas while we're here?
Reckon so.
Okay. We'd like to get some gas. Do we pay here or at the pumps?
Pumps don't work out there anymore. Sorry.
Oh.
And
Okay.
in fact, store's pretty much been closed up for a while.
Oh.
If you want to go on in there, you can. I think they got a sign up on the register.
Okay, thank you. And then I'll sit back down with everybody and just... I hate the West. I hate the West so much.
You gotta look at its charm. I mean, this building's been here forever. You have to kind of feel the history here. What's, this place, that this building could talk, it would have stories.
I guess that's fair, but there's nothing but cactuses and dust.
And the scorpions.
Well, there is something else. Don't want to alarm nobody. But I did have an encounter with an entity outside while parking the truck. It didn't seem aggressive. Couldn't find the exact nature of it, but it was ambiguously full of tendons and teeth. I attempted to reach out. It had no interest in such and merely hid. So it's out there somewhere about. Yeah. How was the restroom? Restrooms are often full of psychopomps and bridgeways, liminal spaces, even amongst such. Everything fine in there. Just gross. Just gross.
I think perhaps I saw something in the bathroom as well.
What'd you see, Dom?
Well, for a long time, I've known about this creature called the Bone Keeper. It goes around and makes victims of people and drags them around in its coffin. The bones of its collective victims in there. And I saw it in the bathroom.
Like, in the bathroom?
Sort of. It was more like an overlay image.
I definitely didn't see that in the bathroom.
It's probably a good sign, Mel. You should consider yourself lucky in that case.
Okay.
I've never
Keeping
seen
bones, you say? Well,
It's
might be
quite
close. Might be passing by. Bone Keeper usually walks the roads lonely like. Perhaps we can keep it that way.
I have no desire to meet this person, this entity.
Don't you
I know
guys
that
just have
it's
muggers or
dangerous.
gangs out here?
Well, yeah, but they're scarier than
No,
normal
we got
muggers
that
and
too.
gangs.
Just less people.
More things.
Oh. Well, that's reassuring.
I do
And
know
they're-
that it's not an insignificant creature. It's quite dangerous.
Sure. Bones' victims. I hear you. Well, we do have this storm. I don't really want to be driving in it unless there's any reason to. That creature out there didn't seem too concerned, mostly scared. This feller, he's probably going to keep mopping for probably another 30, 40 years, so I don't mind him much. I suppose there's more here, and keep an eye out. Be careful not to look into mirrors directly if you can help it, but, let's stay together if we can.
Anybody want to go check out the convenience store, see if we can find anything to maybe eat at least?
Maybe we
We
should
might
all
as
go
well.
together.
Yeah, let's all
I think
go.
that's a good idea, Mel. You catching on. I knew you would.
Right. Now, as you push your way through a set of glass doors in here, takes you into a convenience store. Now, it's once organized displays now hold a motley assortment of items that have been mercilessly left behind. Expired cans sit forlornly next to candy bars of questionable origin. Wrappers bearing faded logos and unfamiliar names. Dusty bags of chips lie now forgotten amongst a sea of indifference. Yellowing magazines of past eras rest on the shelves and covers promising tantalizing glimpses into a world that have faded. Fluorescent lights above flicker sporadically here as well and cast that yellowish glow. Mundane items on the shelves seem to transform into twisted versions of what they once were. And as you wander past the register, you notice a weathered sign hanging precariously above. It's worded barely legible, "Store closed, take what you want." Now, across from this register, you see a door hanging open, bolted in ladder leading upwards in this large chamber.
One thing I want to look for is, do they have NERPs?
NERPs. Describe NERPs for us.
I would look into seeing indifference. It's quite expansive.
Thank you, Graham.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
NERPs is a purple candy bar that tastes like nothing, even though it has the consistency of a Snickers.
Well, I think the slogan is "NERPs or nothing," so that makes sense.
Exactly.
You know
I'm
what?
looking over.
I was going to say, sure, there is an old bar of NERPs.
I'm looking through the candy bar and like, look, it's Charleston cheese. They haven't made these for like 30 years.
I think it's more like a Charleston chewed.
Knock it on the table. It's just like tunk, tunk. You might be right.
Tunk.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Might
recommend
be able to
eating
use
it
that if you're ever under
here.
attack, though, Danny.
It's not
Just
a bad
chuck
idea.
it at your assailant.
I opened the bar of NERPs and it's just dust. It's just crushed utterly.
Oh,
Well,
no. Dom's gonna be staring up that ladder to upstairs.
All right.
See anything from there?
You
From the bottom?
take a moment stepping into this kind of closet-like space, and the door hanging off of the hinges a little bit. Looking up, it appears to go about 10 or 15 feet up and terminates in a large metal kind of trap door from the looks of it.
You're not thinking what I think you're thinking, are you?
I'm thinking,
Well,
why
Danny,
is there a
you can-
metal trap door up there?
Why
That's
is-
what I'm thinking.
Well, that's why we don't go up the trapdoor, because whatever's up there probably shouldn't be messed with. But I'm
Danny,
also
you can
up
give
for
it
that.
the old Rocky look-see if you want.
Well, yeah, I'm always up for that.
Standing there, though, first thing that happens is it reaches your nose. Now, you smell it first, that kind of acrid scent. And it's a large brewing pot of coffee somewhere in this area. The aromatic tendrils drifting through the air and capturing your attention.
Really
Where
could
is it
go for a
coming
cup of
from?
Coffee.
Aha, you see them tendrils? This way. I follow the tendrils.
Well, following the tendrils, you'll find a countertop with one of those classic bun coffee makers
Oh, wow.
standing there with a fresh pot, sweetener, and cups untouched by time sit invitingly on a weathered cabinet nearby.
Don't.
I
don't
immediately
drink
get
it.
a cup.
No.
Regardless,
No.
Mel,
I immediately
Mel,
walk up and get
Mel.
a cup.
Knock it out
What?
of the
Mel.
hand.
It's coffee. I
Mel.
haven't had coffee in days.
I'm gonna look through my
Mel.
I'm gonna look through my hagstone at this setup of coffee to see if it's an illusion.
Should look at Mel with the coffee. Focus on the tendrils, Danny, like I
Looking
told
at
you.
it. Because, yeah, you're looking at this through your stone.
Yes.
The
Which
cup is empty.
you can drink it, but there's nothing in that cup.
Look, I look in the cup. Oh. Okay.
No, I mean, if would they be able to still see coffee? Because I mean, they're not looking through my stone.
It would still seem to be coffee. In fact, you put the stone down, and there is coffee in that cup.
It's an illusion, guys. When I look through my stone, which dispels illusions, I see the reality for what it is. There's nothing there.
I go
Give
to
it a
drink the
scan
coffee 'cause
around. Tell me what else is around.
Convenience
quick
store
scan
still
around.
stands the same way it was before. Now, as you're standing there, though, you hear a loud thump coming from where you had entered before. The sounds of the wind and dust spiral into the room, and the door closes again. Silence now comes from that room.
Yeah, one time I would
Yeah,
say that was the
I'll give it a
wind.
peek. I'll go give it a peek.
Okay. Walking over towards the door, kind of making your way towards the glass doors that separate this area from that front entry. Are you just going to walk that way, or are you going to try and stealthily approach?
Oh yeah, we're going to the door and hugging the wall, peering in the, give a little crack, a little look-see.
All right. Do you have stealth?
I do not.
All right.
Dom will be like, hold on, let me. Because Dom does have stealth. Dom is stealthy, if you want. Hold on, Ed.
After
I'll
you.
go check it out. So Dom is going to stealth over there, because they do have stealth.
All right. Now remember that if you have the talent, you automatically start with one for a bid, and I mentioned that because whatever is in there would love to know that you're coming.
Oh, no.
So I am going to start off just for fun. We'll bid 2.
All right. Let's see. Yeah, I guess I will bid 4 for a total of 5.
Ooh. I'm going to let you succeed. So you're going to gain my 2 tokens, the 2 wooden nickels that I offered up.
Sweet.
All right. Wait a second. No, you succeed. You pay me. Sorry. You give me 5. My apologies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry. It's the other way around. So 5, and there we go.
Yes, okay, great.
You hug the wall, come to that door, glance around into that area where you had seen all the chairs and tables. As your head slowly turns, the first thing you notice is that the man with the mop is not there. And as your eyes go across, finally near the door, you see a hulking silhouette, cloaked in tattered rags, moving through this room with the eerie grace of someone dragging a marionette along the ground. It's shrouded, seems to defy the law of nature, emanating an aura of ancient malevolence. Sends a chill down your spine. It seems to roam around, looking at the tables, picking up things, holding it up to its face, and then setting it back down.
Okay. I'm going to pull a Homer Simpson away from the door, just like... and, like, go back to the group, and I'm going to be like... There's a huge... I'm going to be, like, basically whispering, and I'll be like, there's a huge creature out there that is obviously not natural, and it is sniffing around, and it is looking for something, and it does not have good intentions.
Is it dragging anything?
It was wearing tattered, but it didn't have like a box or anything, did it?
No,
it was just
no.
It was just this huge hulking creature in tattered clothes.
All right, then.
Hide?
we should go up the ladder.
Any other way out besides the ladder?
Yeah, it's kind of a Dead zone. Dead end. Because if it comes up the ladder, we don't got anywhere to go.
Can it even get up the ladder if it's big?
You hear the crash of one of the tables, those hard formica tops toppling and hitting the tile ground as it moves in the other room.
Those glass doors then are not going to hold up against it.
I run up the ladder. As Mel the
Okay.
catalyst, I shall be the catalyst. I guess I will just immediately to the ladder and up it.
All right. And having that wonderful talent of athletics, you quickly make your way for that ladder and hit that trap door. And it just it kind of holds back against you a moment and then kind of flies open, light now pouring in.
Okay, all right, and then I go the rest of the way up.
All right. Anyone else following?
I'm in last.
Yeah, I'll follow them up next because they don't know what they're possibly getting into.
Yeah, I guess I'll follow. I mean, the things down there, whatever's up there, I guess, might not be as bad, I suppose. That's the risk we're taking.
Those of you who get up there, it does take you a moment for your eyes to adjust, but the sounds of the wind have fallen away. For Ed, you see this...
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I was just gonna say that I grabbed a Charleston shoe and the pot of coffee as I go up.
Awesome. Glancing over your shoulder, you see this thing, this creature, as it starts to try and push its way into the this rest stop area, this convenience store, and it grips onto the wall. You see for the first time its hand made up of multiple sets of femurs.
Ooh.
Oh no.
And you
I'm
take
just
up.
gonna keep that to myself for now.
Now, breathlessly and panicked, you rush that metal ladder. Your heart's all pounding with fear, driven to climb as quickly as possible, tight onto the rungs, and instead of whatever it was you were expecting to find, you find yourselves now standing on an asphalt road, stretching out in both directions. The road beneath your feet seems eerily deserted, lacking signs of civilization or familiar landmarks. You've been transported somehow to an isolated place, separated from the hustle and bustle of life. You find yourself on what you believe is a hidden highway. As you survey the
Snap my
surroundings.
fingers. Do they still make sound?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You realize looking around, this road is surrounded by a vast field, stretching as far as the eye can see. Tall grasses sway in this soothing yet haunting ambience, but still from below within the hatch, you hear the sounds of clattering and movement.
Close it! Close the hatch!
I do immediately. Bam. Close the hatch.
Is there any way we can legit lock it?
Yes, absolutely. So you just kind of throw a little, it has one of those latches, and you just kind of shove it down in there. If you have, you can easily say you've got something you can shove in there.
Yeah. I'm gonna grab in my backpack. I'm gonna have like some tools because that's one of my talents as a mechanic. So I would figure that I'd have some kind of small pouch of tools or whatever, and just like jam a screwdriver to make sure that that handle can't turn to open.
All right. Sounds now of just calm nature fill the air.
I
So
guess.
quietly, I'm gonna pull out my cardinal pendulum. And without saying anything, I'm going to start swinging it. And the first question I'm going to ask it is, are we still on Earth?
It's going to swing, showing you that yes, you are.
Okay. My second question is going to be, where's Kieran?
All right. Uh, Let me double check that device really quick. So, for those of you, if anyone else in the party is familiar with talismans, this is one of them.
Yeah, no, I'm watching. I'm like, where did you get that from? Did you get that from Three-Handed Sally?
No, someone important to me left it behind.
Um, it's impressive. They're hard to come by.
All right. This is an unusual response from it. It's like you were swinging it, and then as you're swinging it, it centers, and then begins to spin in place.
I was expecting
Huh.
that. Okay. Then I am going to look at everyone and say, does anyone have any yes or no questions?
Uh,
Do
kinda
we
look up-
go left?
yeah, we're right.
Do we go left? That's my third question.
Okay. It it starts spinning on its own and then tugs you in the direction actually of the road. It does kind of give you an idea of, rather than left or right, this, this is the way.
Ah, okay. Okay, so we follow the road. We've only got one question left. Any other yes or no questions?
Perhaps you should save it.
Do I diegetically know that I can only use this once?
Uh, and I'll say this, with talismans, you know that if you use it all up, you'll have to find somebody that can either repair it, re-enchant it, or something like that. But yes, you do know that that would be the next step when you use a talisman all up.
Okay, because while it says 4 questions, it says it can only be used once.
Mm-hmm. And then it takes finding a talisman, specialist who knows.
If only we have one.
Yeah, who
Let's
knows
see.
that?
Gosh.
Oh, dang!
hmm.
Okay, awesome.
Who knows that recipe?
Which I might not know that recipe yet.
Okay, then
Well, if we want to save it, I guess we can. Or do we want to ask it? Are we in danger from the road?
Mel would answer, yeah, I want to ask it that. Is
Oh, I
everyone-
don't think you need to. I can tell you. This is a hidden highway. These are all over the place. It's how you get from one point to another most of the time.
Right, but it
We
doesn't mean
stumbled onto one of them.
right. But since we've already seen the man dragging the box, I mean, he could be on this road, so that could tell us if we're in danger or not.
Possibly.
Oh,
You
I
could
think
ask
it's
it if we can kill that big thing with the bone hands. Oops, sorry. It has big bone hands.
Big bone hands?
What
Anyways.
thing with big
Like-
bone hands?
Like really big
Oh, you know,
hands?
The thing down there?
our buddy downstairs. Yeah, yeah. He's got big
Well, at
bone
least
hands.
now-
I wasn't gonna say something. It just kind of slipped out. Sorry.
Wait, big bone, is that a euphemism that he's overweight?
I would never, Danny. That would be that would be trashy of me.
So literally has big bones in his hand.
All right, let's not you know.
Well, now we
stick
know
on that
what the
moment for
bone-
now.
Now we know what the bone keeper does with the bones, I suppose.
I don't know if that's him. He didn't have no coffin or nothing.
Now I imagine he possibly makes that creature from the bones that they collect.
Well, if that's the case, he needs a new hobby.
Bone hands gotta come from somewhere.
agree.
I will ask the pendulum, are we in danger if we follow the road?
It will actually swing in the negative once, but then it'll start spinning.
Oh, dang it. All right. Okay. All right.
I mean,
Okay.
I
mean,
mean,
it
sure.
depends.
It seems very reasonable for a knick-knack to be that forward with you.
Okay, so I guess we're basically safe here on the road. I mean,
as much as it can be. Don't want to lie to you now.
Let's not have to worry about getting run over.
that's true.
Well,
Okay.
Well, a cry emanates from below under that trap door. You hear this, loud, almost monstrous yell.
Okay, we should get going.
I'm sure
Um,
he's fine. Let's go.
He's got
So
all the
as-
Charleston chew he could want. He'll be fine.
So when we go,
No.
Mm-hmm.
This is sort of Dom's thing, using the hidden highways. I mean,
Yeah.
he's a route worker, so he's gonna try to use that ability to make sure, we don't run into anything. However that has to work, I guess. He's gonna try to figure out the way out or away
So
or
with
through this.
with the route working, usually in the majority of times there's no cost to use it. You are skilled in it, and much like other talents, you can, if you have it, you're able to do it, unless there is a force or something stopping you.
Mhm.
And so I'm actually going to say that you feel briefly as you're walking this route. It's one of those moments where you're walking on this road, if you are all walking together, and the grass and the corn and other things, as you're traveling, begin to kind of lean in certain directions. And then you hit a point where there's almost like a barrier. Like something kind of nudges up against you, wrapping you briefly, like kind of enveloping you in the air, as if there's a thickness. But just as soon as you pass through it, it's like it passes over you and is gone.
Anybody else feel that?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I turn around and walk back towards it to see if I feel it again.
Mel.
I just want to see if it's like a zone or if it's a breeze.
It's kind of like in the video games, when you can only go so
Well-
far.
You
Um,
walk towards it, and it's like it spirals in the air, moves around you, moves past you, but you are not perhaps what it wants or is looking for. It's as if now it's looking for something else.
Gotcha. Then I will head back to the group. Strange. This
Yup.
is all so strange.
It's
Yup.
kind of the whole point of it.
Yeah, I hate the West.
We know, Mel. We know.
Hey, but look at the bright side. There's no cactuses.
Not a
That's-
one.
That's
no,
true.
it's more like a Stephen King novel out here.
Oh, you
Oh.
had to go there.
I hate Maine even worse.
Well,
I mean, y'all read that story, right? You know, the children of the corn. Like, this looks exactly like that out here.
I only watched the movie.
Either way. Either way. All right. Well, we'll have to find another opening to get back. That's
now, as you're traveling, the road, it's one of those things where the road feels straight, but it curves just enough so that always in the distance, you can never see the horizon. It's always like there's a field up ahead. And you're traveling.
Field.
Yep. For about an hour, and then finally, you see a town ahead of you. Small,
Civilization. Thank God.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of the
small,
opposite,
singular
but yeah, you
buildings,
get the
yeah.
idea.
Civilization, just not quite what you're used to.
Short buildings, though. Everything as you're walking up are these one-story pier and beam homes and buildings, wood slat exteriors, whitewashed fences. A sign on the edge of town welcomes you to Sunset Springs.
Well, isn't that nice of them?
And for the first time, you see other people. Families milling about, children playing in parks. Proceeding into town, you see a beautiful gazebo.
For the first time since meeting everyone, Mel relaxes.
It wouldn't.
Just like the Bronx, huh? Hello there! I wave to the people who are close.
I will also wave.
One of them kind of nods to you as you wave and says, "Well, hello. I am Lucy. Don't recognize any of y'all. Where are you from?"
Here and there.
I'm Abigail. I'm from Louisiana, and these are all of my friends. We're just passing through here, and we were just wondering, where's the next place where we can find a mechanic?
A mechanic? Oh, well, you'll have to go talk to Bill Johnson. He's the local mechanic here in town. I'm certain he'd be able to help you out. Is there your car? I shouldn't even ask. Walking into town like this, your car must have broken down.
Yeah, we met someone on the road, and one thing led to another, and now our car's broken down. Very quickly, do you have a mayor?
Well, of course we have a mayor. And as she's talking, her eyes are just kind of falling on Ed ever so often, and just kind of stares at him. She looks
Smile
over
real
at you,
sweetly.
just kind of nods. Well, yes. The mayor, Ava Johnson. She's around somewhere. Why do you need to speak with the mayor, if I may ask?
Oh, just
We're
It's good.
salesmen.
Oh.
yes.
You gonna be looking for a place to stay then?
Yes, actually, that was going to be my next question. Do you have an inn, hotel,
Yes.
Holiday Inn Express?
You're going to be needing to go down the road, taking a left, and you're going to look for a building called the Sunset Diner, and it's the diner and motel. It's only got about 6 rooms. I'm sorry, it's very small.
That's okay. I appreciate it. And you have a great day. And I'm just gonna immediately like herd everyone over somewhere.
Did anybody else get creepy vibes?
Yes, 1000%.
I'm not gonna move as everyone leaves. I'm just gonna like stand there.
It's like Stepford in here. That's what it's like.
Children
Uh,
of the Corn.
Is there anybody watching me right now? Like looking at our group, or are they all staring at it?
they are barely paying any attention to you, other than when you like say hi or wave at them.
I'm going
Uh,
to. The reason I'm asking that is because the strange can notice me when I'm using my hagstone.
mhm.
So if no one's looking at me, I'm just going to take a quick peek through it. And
Everything
see,
here looks just exactly what you see.
and the people too.
Yes.
Okay.
That said, Ed, if you stood there for a moment, the hairs on your neck kind of go up, and you risk a glance over your shoulder. You see that cloaked figure in the distance, but it's not moving towards you. Kind of moves sidelong and goes into the cornfields nearby.
Oh, he lonely.
He's looking for the children.
Children of the Corn.
What's this helpful townsgoer doing now?
All right, the what?
What is the helpful townsgoer doing now?
Lucy,
Lucy?
the person.
Lucy.
Yeah,
Lucy.
Lucy just after she nods to you, she walks off, continuing on her
Alright.
way. Are you going to?
I will join the others fashionably late to the hang.
Well, you hear Dom saying something about it's like Stepford up in here.
Yeah, is this normal? Is this like how it is out here, or is this weird?
You really have to
There's
lose
no
your concept of
real
normal.
like. Yeah, I was just gonna say there's no real standard out here for
Okay.
like.
I mean, this could have just have been a town full of talking chipmunks as a town full of Stepford people.
Oh darn. Okay.
I mean, not literally, but
Right.
Well, we are nearing our halfway point, so I'm actually going to go ahead and let us take a break really quick. We're going to take a 10-minute break, and then we will be back with continuing our tale. So we'll see everyone back here in 10 minutes.
awesome.
All right, sorry about that little crossover there. So hi, we are back here with Seriously Let's Play. Today we are playing Wayfaring Strange. We have a great group of people here together. I do want to remind everyone that we do have a donate button up in the lower right-hand corner for the Hawaii Community Foundation for Maui Strong. It is one of the ways right now to get money into the communities for the fires that have happened there recently. If you end up watching this on YouTube, the foundation does recommend that if you don't have a chance to donate during your show or anything else, please go look them up online. Again, it is the Hawaii Community Foundation, and they have a link on their main website to go donate there. And if you can't donate electronically, they also have addresses where if you want to send something, you can do it that way as well. So, all right. But when last we left this group of people, we were traveling through this strange town, somewhat scenic, of Sunset Springs. After having just moments before found your way through a hidden highway and somewhere on a dust-stormed road in Arizona. Is dust-stormed a word? It is now.
Yeah.
So, what would y'all like to do at this point?
Are we wanting to keep going, or do we want to get a room?
I think getting a room now might be a good idea, so then that can be our little base of operations while we're here in this town, as long as Bonefinger Man doesn't come from down the road.
Well, about that, not Bonefinger, but that tendon and teeth critter appears to be following us. Might be lonely or some such. Keeping its distance. It's off there yonder in the corn. Just roping y'all in on that. So yeah, room, sure. Sounds all right.
Oh, it's good to
They
know.
appear to be doing their own thing here in Sunset. They all appear to have the last name Johnson, I've noticed. Perhaps that's a coincidence, or maybe that's just, the collective subconscious of names getting pulled out when we don't have names for people. Who knows? Who knows how that operates? I don't. It's a mystery.
Well, hopefully the hotel will be in a better condition than the previous rest stop we were at. I mean,
God,
it might
yes.
be
I'm guessing it'll be the Sunset Motel, if I had to guess.
Well, yeah.
We'll try to find this place then, I guess. This in the hotel place.
And you say that as you're walking through, there are a lot of things named Sunset. There's the Sunset Springs Vineyard, a outdoor outfitter, little storefront. It's that classic old town kind of feel. Those two-story buildings with the shop on that first floor, just right up against each other. Just a little 15 feet worth of storefront that you see before you move on to the next thing. Flower shop, small little newspaper stand.
All the signs are hand painted.
All the signs are hand painted.
I'm
Can
imagining.
I pause and look at the newspaper?
I was just
What
thinking
does the
about-
newspaper say? What kind of news is happening in Sunset?
You pick it up.
Mr. Johnson's dog got loose again and peed on Mrs. Johnson's fence. I mean, what could possibly happen here?
It comes across as one of those nickel readers. It's listing different things
okay.
people are selling in town and things of that nature.
Okay.
Somebody
Alright,
asking
cool, that makes
someone
sense.
to, be a little bit quieter at night, that they've got rowdy kids or something.
Oh no. That sounds about right. That sounds about right. Well, no surprises there, for sure. Yeah,
All right. But as
looking for hotel.
Yeah, you finish your way through town and you end up at the Sunset Diner, which has this classic kind of look, a sign that says homemade pies out front. The building itself on the backside has a series of just rooms, one floor, cinder block painted white hotel rooms, a series of 6 of them in a row. The, a white stone parking lot, one of those with the loose stones, kind of gravel.
Mm-hmm.
And that is where you find yourselves now then.
I'm gonna
Following the
grab Ed's
directions.
bicep and say, "Did you ever see the movie Psycho?"
The Vince Vaughn one? Didn't like it.
Vince Vaughn.
I,
No,
I
the old
think
black
they
and white
made
one.
the one. I think they made the one about Norman Bates, the old school black and white.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And then I will just continue to eye between him and the motel.
Well, did
I'll
you
just look
change
for
your
birds, I
mind?
suppose, or holes in the wall with conspicuous eyes coming out.
Venturing inside, it is, paneled interior, a glass case with a simple register, and an older gentleman with white hair kind of looks up at you after finishing what looks to be a well-worn telephone book size thing that says crosswords across the top of it. Just sets down this giant book and stands up, walking over the register, and wipes his brow and says, "Can I help you?"
Hi, four for one room, please.
Kind of squints his eyes. That just one room?
Just one room, please. Yes.
Well,
Or
how big
you-
are they?
Yeah.
I got a king-size bed in them. That's about it.
Maybe 2 rooms then.
Yeah,
We'll
that
split.
are next to each
Yeah,
other.
we'll split it up.
2 rooms. And just offers you a total and just like, okay, it's going to be about, you just staying for one day?
Yeah. Yeah, just one day.
Okay, just one day. So it's $35 a room. So it's going to be $70 for the total.
Gotcha.
We don't take cards. It's either cash or checks.
Gotcha. Give us one
I
moment.
write him a check.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
that
no!
check,
Oh,
that
no!
makes sense.
Do you,
I nod like I've yes, absolutely, and I write him a check.
I
This
I
stands
look
in
at you. I look at you like, do you actually have this money, or is this check gonna bounce? Without like saying that out loud.
I give you a warm and inviting smile as I write the check.
Okay. All right.
All right. So he takes the check from you, sets it in one of those old rollers that you crank back and forth over the top of the check to mark on the back of
cool.
it,
Yeah.
Oh, that's
and hits the tender button on the register, and it pops open with a ring, slides it into a drawer, and closes it, and hands you 2 keys with old wooden kind of keychains, little long numbers attached to them, and it says, "It's room number 1 and room number 2. You're the only guest we've had in a bit. Where are you from?"
Louisiana. We're coming through to see family.
Well, I wish you well on your way. If you have any questions, please feel free to come and see me here. And he points to a chamber, wide open off the side of this stand. It seems to be a register with a simple diner running out through the side. It smells of home-cooked food and pies wafting from there. If you decide you'd like anything to eat, we have plenty of food there. But please, I hope you enjoy your time in town. It's a Probably a little bit of a change from where you're from.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, what kind of pie do you have?
Oh, well, right now we have, I believe we got a little bit of apple pie.
Do you have rhubarb?
Rhubarb pie? I don't think we have any rhubarb pie. No.
Mel genuinely dejected.
How about pecan?
Can pie? No, but I could probably, if you really wanted one, I could probably talk to the cook and get one whipped up.
Well, apple personally happens to be my favorite, so I'm perfectly happy. Perhaps coming a bit later and getting some apple pie.
Wonderful. I'll let the cooks know that they'll have some extra guests this evening. We do have a few regulars that make their way through here, so
Thank you.
you'll enjoy your stay. Just smiles and nods and waves.
As soon as we're like away and going around towards the room, Dom is like, I wouldn't eat anything here.
Yeah, I might
Especially if they don't
order
have
one.
pecan. It's a travesty.
What kind of a place sells pies that doesn't have pecan pies? That's for out of everything
I'm
that has happened
saying,
so
Mel.
far. That's the strangest thing to me.
Easily the strangest.
Yeah, the like highway and the man and whatever is totally not. But
You know, bone
them
hands,
not
you know, that
having pecan
Doesn't
pie.
phase anybody.
Well, let's check out these rooms.
That's what you call foreboding, all right?
Oh, yeah. What are the rooms like?
All right. You travel around the outside of this building, coming through that gravel lot as it crushes beneath your feet, and onto a set of sidewalks that parallels this building. It is truly the land that time forgot. At least it's clean. Very simple doors. You use your key, enter into it. Everything's nice. Old, but nice. The that fake paneled wood headboard, curtains that you're pretty sure are red corduroy.
Wow. All right, so I have folklore and history.
Mhm.
Is there any way I can do something to try and see if I've ever heard of such a place while I'm wandering around, or if anybody else has heard of anything like this place while I've been wandering the roads?
I'm also gonna try an investigation after that.
Okay. So with the folklore, you've heard tales without a doubt. It's not you again have the skill, and there are tales of small and forgotten towns on the outskirts of hidden highways, places that time forgot. Nobody uses the roads, nothing. But it's as if in those places, there's always some sort of tale, always some sort of mechanism as well that has hidden them away. Something that keeps them the way they are and keeps everything else away.
Dom will relate this as we're in the little hotel room and say, I've heard stories of places like this that time forgot along these hidden highways of the United States. And there's usually always something keeping people out and everybody else in, and the way that the town is from changing at all.
Well, that's good. Could you imagine if they all of a sudden popped into 2023? They'd be horrified.
Probably.
Don't really see anything wrong with it. Don't appear to be bothering nobody. I mean, minus the pie situation, but of course, less said about that, the better.
They said they'd make you.
I have truly seen the horror of the Mother Highway, and it's a diner with no pecan pie.
They said they would make you one.
But they
See,
didn't
I
already
don't
have
trust
one
them.
made. Who doesn't already have pecan pie made?
Yankees.
is look, as someone from New England originally, I am offended.
As someone from Ohio, I am also offended.
Like, is pecan pie really so ubiquitous everywhere else? I mean, because good lord, I never had one before I moved south. Regardless of all of that, what about that thing you saw outside the town? The
Oh, sure,
creature
tendon
you
and
saw
teeth
out-
feller.
Yeah, like that seems like something we might want to be concerned about.
Well, you know, I'll
Right.
let you know. It's hiding mostly. Maybe following us could be a coincidence. I spoke with its consciousness, such that it is. It didn't seem to enjoy it, but I left it be. But it is out there in the corn.
And it really hasn't done anything to us. It hasn't threatened us. It hasn't attacked. Not like our other friend, the Bone Fellow.
That's true.
Well,
But-
we don't understand the nature of Mr. Bonehands neither, but, you know, I don't really want to give him the chance.
Yeah, I'm not wanting to shake those hands.
I think when we sleep tonight, we should sleep in shifts.
Well, what's our
Sure,
plan?
Mel.
To get back to the gas station and get in the truck and leave? Take care of those creatures? Try to free them? What's our goal here? Like, what are we trying to do?
I would say our goal
I'm
is to get
hoping
back
to
the
find
real-
another passageway.
Yeah.
We need to find another passageway back to the highway that we're a bit more familiar with, such that it is.
And see how far
Alright,
we are
that
away
makes
from the
sense.
truck, because we're going to be on foot otherwise, even in the real world. Well, real world, but
We can sort that out best we can, Danny. I'm not worried about it much.
Okay. Now, the other side of all this is that Dom, you do know that if you could find one of those points on the Nexus, you might be able to banish whatever that creature is.
Mm-hmm.
And so there is also that chance, but it's not exactly a simple ritual.
Right.
And they've
Right,
got
yeah.
and they would actually you would actually have to be in its presence to do it.
Right. Well, you know, I mean, I was actually having the same thought, but everybody was like, "Well, it hasn't hurt us or whatever." So I'm like, "Let's banishing things that haven't hurt us." But the thing in the stores seemed pretty whatever. And plus, I know that there is this creature around that I've seen, so I don't feel like we're exactly in a safe space. And I will tell the others that as well. I will say, well, given that I saw the Bone Keeper and these creatures are around, I can't help but think that they're probably related somehow. I mean, keeps a bone, but what do they do with the teeth and tendons? My feeling is it probably makes creatures to serve itself. And once it's seen us, we're gonna have to deal with it.
Fair enough.
That's my
Then we got to find our exit then. I think that's clear enough.
agree.
And
All right.
you know, I really want to investigate this. How to put it? Personally, my experience is in dealing with lots of moving parts of people. So I think I'd like to try and just by myself go and talk to the mayor and see what's going on with her. I think if we all go, that might make it seem. The thing I'm most worried about is that if we become seen as a threat by the people in town, we don't know what might happen. But as well, I want to know if the mayor knows anything about anything going on here, where we could go next, the thing in the corn, the Bone Man, not just Bone Finger Hands Man, but the other Bone Man with the dragging of the coffin and whatnot. So I think when we get done here, that's gonna be my plan, is talk to the mayor.
Sure, Mel.
Yeah.
Hard
If
to
you're
say
doing that, I can...
if
Go ahead. Continue, Ed.
hard to say if the mayor will be self-aware or not. I find these residents of our space lack a certain je ne sais quoi. But if somebody going, the mayor is mighty fine choice.
Yeah, they do tend to be super normal in these situations.
Yeah, and I'm hoping to play into that normality. Something I've learned dealing with CEOs is that the more normal they are on the outside, the more you can flip that normality back on its head and really get to the depth of them. It's kind of like picking a rock up and seeing all the crawdads and centipedes underneath.
Well, let's pick up some rocks.
All right.
You don't want to do that. I can try and see if I can find where there might be an exit, or at least a nexus point if I need to do something. Because if I can
Dom,
get to
I would adore that.
if I can get to a nexus point, I'm pretty sure I can bind the creature. It's not going to be easy, but if I do so, I'm pretty sure that I can.
That sounds like a good idea.
All right, I'll try and do that. If anybody wants to come with me, that's fine, or go with Mel.
I think split the
fine.
party. I'll go with you. My skill set might help with binding and leveraging this.
And you too.
This point.
And you two are the more charismatic anyway. So why don't you go talk to the mayor?
Oh,
Well-
you're such a flatterer.
Like I said, I'd like to try and go by myself, but Ed, if you could stay around wherever we do find the mayor at, I would appreciate that.
I'm not about to let you wander off on your own, Mel. I'll stick close now.
I appreciate it.
All right.
All right. Go team!
Split the party because that's never gone on
Yay.
before.
Well, we'll start with.
What? That's when all the fun happens. That's when all the fun happens.
Damn right, Danny. I agree. Rules are made to be broken. Don't split the party. Bah! I've never believed such a thing.
Well,
Look, I've run it with, and John can tell you this. I've run it where all of them were doing different things. So
Good. Very brave of you.
they were attending the ball. I was breaking into the home of the person who was having the ball. It's all good.
Nice.
It's fine.
You were having a ball. Sounds.
I definitely was having a ball. So, we'll start off with the mayor. If you do go visit, looking around, trying to find her office, it is a smaller town again, and it's not impossible, just a little bit of walking. And you find a one-story home, if it can be even called that. It's definitely not a place of business. It has this look of this one-story, almost one-room building, series of windows on each side, a little bit of a lower roof line, but out front it says Mayor's Office on a big placard hanging on a signpost out in the yard.
Hey, as we walk up, I look at Ed and I say very obviously loudly, "Oh, I think this is the place. I'll just pop in real quick and how about you stick around?"
If you say so. Golly, I'm tired.
There's a snake in my boot.
I sit on a convenient, beautifully painted green bench, and I pick up a newspaper that's laying there, almost as if it was there the whole time. And I pick it up and I don't read it.
All right. I will knock on the door to the mayor's house.
Voice rings from within and says, "Oh, come on in." Going inside?
I go inside and I imagine it's a very, how to put it, stereotypical old grandma type situation. Lots of upholstered armchairs with that weird green, almost denim that's very scratchy doilies on the tops of the chairs and on the tops of basically anything that can hold a doily. The desk off in a little nook to the side, with one of those big floor-to-ceiling bookcases that's just jam-packed full of books. And as I step in, I do that, like, step in, look around, see that there's, like, barely a 14th of a wall separating the front door from the door frame to the little office nook. The mayor's there at the desk, sitting in her chair. And as I look around the corner and go, "Hi."
Oh, hello. And this woman stands up wearing a nice dark blue suit, jacket, long skirt. And she slides around the end of her desk and actually comes around and greets you. It's like, "Oh, hello, I am Mayor Johnson. It is so nice to meet you," and reaches out a hand to shake. And we're gonna briefly run over to Ed. Ed, while you're out front watching your companion go inside, you feel a little tug on your side, on like your shirt, like a little tug.
I look.
Looking down over your shoulder, there is little boy just standing there, kind of looking up at you. Kind of has a couple teeth missing. Just, this odd grin. He's like, "Who are you?"
Hi there. I'm Eddie. What's your name?
"I'm Bill."
Hi, Bill.
"Where are you
Nice to
from?"
meet you, Bill.
Johnson. He's Bill Johnson, probably.
Where are you from?
Couple towns over.
Never seen you here before.
Well, it's my first time. Do you like it here?
It's nice, I guess. So it gets a little cold in the winter, I guess, but I like it.
It seems real nice.
Why are you here?
Well, I thought I'd visit. I'd never been here before.
Everybody's talking about you. They want to know why you visited.
What kind of stuff they saying?
Strangers?
Well, I'm not so strange. What do you think?
He looks at you for a long time. You seem a little strange.
Well, here's the thing. Being strange, it's not so bad.
You smell funny, too.
Yeah.
I work with children. They're like this all the time. Come on.
They are. It's still super creepy.
100%, and that's children too. Creepy.
You leaving soon?
Think so.
They
Do
all
you know
look-
how the best way to get out of here?
He looks around and just like back to the main road, as far as I know. I mean,
I was hoping to see something else. some other way. Any kind of clubhouses, secret tunnels. You know anything like that?
Now, there's another path that leads out of town. It used to have the old
Where's
tree
that?
house out. He points off in one direction. He's like, my friends had a tree house out there once, but they don't really like us going out that far anymore.
Makes sense. Probably it's not safe.
Yeah, this kid just chatting your ear off, essentially. Just standing there wearing a pair of tattered blue overalls. And yeah, unless you do anything, he's just going to keep talking. So.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give him about half my attention. I'm just gonna keep asking him like not yes or no questions and like listening and like letting him talk. And I'm gonna kind of fold the space using my kind of apostle sense between where Mel is physically, so that my consciousness is kind of half listening into the room, since the main purpose of it is communication, and it works better in the Strange here because it's all this like wibbly wobbly space. So I'm just gonna like bend the space a little bit so I can hear what's going on. But I'm gonna keep talking to this kid the whole time.
Wibbly wobbly,
That's right.
timey-wimey stuff.
We've all seen the time knife, okay? So
Yeah.
The Clockwork Elves.
Yeah,
We've
yeah.
all seen it.
Well, switching back around then to Mel. So the mayor's come around and she's shaking your hand. Says, so what brings you to my office today?
Well, my name's Maribel, and I'm from Louisiana. And I and my friends have just kind of come through town recently, and we're just looking how to get back onto the main road, if at all possible.
Well, it's on one road that runs through town. Starts at one end and leads to the other if you stay on it. I hate to put it that way. I'm not trying to run you off or anything. But, yeah, that's about best bet you have. Now, the lady looks at you, and is your character actually named that, and are you from Louisiana?
No and no.
So, deception, I think, is what you're going to need, because they're going to be investigating you.
Awesome. I have a talent for that.
All right. I'm going to start off the bid at 4.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go.
And remember,
with-
you get 1 free because you have the talent.
Then I am gonna go with 7. So 6 plus 1.
Wow.
Mm. You know, I will let you pay me that 7.
Okay. Awesome.
Oh, well. It's been a long time since we visited our neighboring state of Louisiana, and always nice to have people coming through. But yeah. So you plan on staying on town overnight?
Yeah, we were planning. Our truck broke down a little whiles down the road. I almost said out of character. I almost said south, and I was like, I don't know if this road runs north to south or east to west. But
yes.
in character. Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
In character, I say, well, I also had just a couple quick questions. Has a man named Kieran come through here anytime recently?
Kieran. Name doesn't sound
K-I-R-A-N.
familiar.
Barefoot, backpack, braid jeans.
Can't say I've seen anyone. You are probably the first visitor we've had in months.
Gotcha. My only other question is, the diner.
Mm-hmm.
They make pecan pie. Do they have any ready to eat?
I'm kind of surprised they didn't.
That's the rumor.
I must have sold out early then. She just smiles.
Gotcha. Gotcha. I see what's going on. Okay, John, did you see your Discord messages?
I am so sorry. One moment.
That's all right.
Secrets.
Yeah. I love
Secret.
handing secrets to the DM.
This secret's
Secret.
brought to you by.
Nerps.
Nerves.
Sounds like nerds.
All right.
Not quite nerds.
All right. Well, the mayor just nods and talks to you for a bit, filling the air with small talk. We're actually going to go ahead and switch over then to Dom and Danny. So,
Yeah. We're gonna step out of the hotel, and Dom's gonna try his best to figure out where the nexus point might be.
Yep.
Using his skills, figure out which direction, where.
all right. You. All right. So you begin to make your way, and really quick, we're going to switch over for a break a moment. We're going to just take 1 second. We'll be back in this few minutes, so don't go anywhere, everyone. A second. So, welcome back, everyone. This is John with Rook and Rasp. One of our players, Asu, had to step away from the table. They will not be able to join us for the rest of this episode, but we're going to go ahead and continue onwards. So, we were leaving off, though, with Dom and Danny.
Yeah. Dom is going to try to find where the nexus point might be using their skills, your root working skills.
All right. So, as you begin looking and using your understanding of the powers of, that interact with the strange, dealing with the hidden highways and these ley lines that exist everywhere, you begin to feel a tug. And it's leading you out in a way towards the edge of town. Like you,
Okay.
the diner that you were at was kind of not really in the center of town where you had seen the gazebo or anything else. Was this off in the outer areas of this town, and it's pulling you even further away. This feeling.
I'm gonna follow.
As you're moving, the grass is getting taller. It's about 2 or 3 feet deep. And you run into that presence, that feeling again, of something swallowing over you. And go ahead, and I'm going to say you're going to need to spend or flip one of your wooden tokens, one of your wooden nickels. Heads or tails? Or you can roll a dice and do evens odds.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and roll because I have dice right here. I have a 6-sider. All right. I rolled a 3 odds.
All right. So you don't end up having to spend the coin. You just feel it, and this time it's a little bit stronger, but you push through.
Okay.
And
That barrier again. Dom mutters to Danny.
Oh, it's back again?
yeah, you feel it too, Danny, as you step into that, this moment in the grass. And about 10, 20 feet away are these old woods, cottonwood trees, these crisscrossing branches, the slight thorn where like branches have broken off, forming these brambles.
It's gonna be troublesome. You sure
But-
the Nexus is in here?
It's out here. Nexuses often like to protect themselves.
Couldn't have done that with a nice, comfy office. Barriers of doors.
We're gonna push through the brambles. We're trying to get to where the Nexus is.
And as Dom is focusing on the Nexus, I'm keeping an eye out for our friend that has followed us to see if something that matches the description of what Ed has said pops up.
You continue to move, stepping through the woods, and you hit this point as you're walking that, again, it's that feeling of when you were on the road and the branches and the grass seems to just lean a certain way. You begin to feel that strange pull just on the edge of your conscience, and you know you're within the area of it. A large nexus of energy that is flowing from multiple points, spiraling just beyond the veil here.
And so all all the things that are leaning are like leaning towards that spiral.
Yeah. We're here. This is it.
So what do we need to do? Do you need something? Do we need to build a device, or
There's something keeping everything within this town. I think we need to find what that is and find it. So that's what Dom will attempt to do.
All right.
His theory is that those creatures are what is keeping this place. Their energy is kind of what's keeping people out, and that's what it was trying to do. It was trying to prevent them from getting here, but they slipped by. Is what I'm thinking. That it was protecting this hidden highway, this town, and so that's his theory. So that if we want to leave, like his theory is that if we were going to try to leave, that creature would try to stop us from leaving. So the theory is that if he finds that creature, banishes it, they will be able to leave. That's Dom's working theory right now.
All right. So
if
yes.
if Dom's gonna build something, does this game have a help assist or a help mechanic?
Not so much for that.
Okay.
This, however, is a ritual, and to begin the setup, you're going to need to actually do the crossroads ritual.
Yep.
So,
Which says doesn't cost me any nickels or strangeness.
no, it doesn't.
So, Dom's gonna start by basically creating what looks like, he's gonna pull like what looks like the tape they use to measure distances for geography and stuff like that. Have you ever seen those people along highways measuring and stuff like that? He's doing something that looks similar to that, where he's creating these lines of energy with this tape to create a space, a ritual space at the nexus point. So he's kind of got these little, looking through and then making these, using kind of this measuring chalk tape to lay down. If you ever see them, they kind of sometimes they'll do like use a little chalk tape that they flick down to create marks and stuff. And that's what he's using to kind of create a circle or a square of a ritual space so that he can bring the creature there and then attempt to banish it. That's what's happening right now.
All right, so you begin working on your ritual. Ed, while you're standing outside and this Billy has been tugging at your side, talking for a while, Mel finally exits out of the mayor's office and kind of just rubs their forehead and says, well, I didn't really find out too much more.
Yeah, I suppose not.
Let's go see if we can find Dom and Danny. I something just doesn't seem right here. I don't feel comfortable.
Yeah, I'd concur with that, Mel. I think your sensitivity's coming along nicely. And I will gingerly take them and find our friends.
We left a note as to which direction we were heading.
All right. As you hit the edge, go back to the hotel, there comes a point where the boy just kind of waves at you and walks into a yard and gets on this old swing and just starts swinging in the front yard of this house.
Not creepy at all.
But you begin to make your way into the woods, following your friends. All right, so you are there. We'll go ahead and say everyone gets back together, and you begin the ritual. All right, you've already begun the ritual at this point, but yes, you're continuing this ritual.
Yeah, well, I look at the other two and they show up like they're in the middle of something. they're doing something important. There's a lot of chalk lines, and there's a lot of measuring.
Dom's gonna try to explain what the theory is, what their theory is, about the creatures and keeping everybody in the town.
I nod along.
As Dom is doing this, Danny, you had been paying attention. Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Okay, so I don't have investigation, so
Yeah,
I'll roll
using your
the dice.
All right, so yeah, you'll roll the dice,
Odd
or
or
you
even
could
first
go ahead and
success.
spend the token outright.
You know what? We're almost. Yeah, I'll spend the token.
All right, something is out there, moving through the trees.
I'm gonna like that. That stage whisper, not really quiet, but trying to be quiet. I think our friends in the trees.
Right.
I can't spot where it's at, but I saw movement. It's like there's up there, and now I saw something there.
The wind begins to pick up. Yes.
Oh, I was just gonna say, so looking at the other stuff I have, they have certain levels of strangeness that need to be in effect.
Yes.
How does that work?
So you either need to pay the costs in strange or the costs in wooden nickels.
Oh, one or the other?
use
Okay,
ritual.
you don't need to pay
Yes.
both.
No, it's one or the other.
Perfect. Okay then. All right. The wind starts to pick up, you said. Right, we're moving on to the next part of the ritual, which is the calling ritual. Basically, Dom's going to now call the spirit into the ritual space so that he can banish it. And what that looks like is Dom standing kind of outside the circle and chanting some sort of, it's not sound, it's not words, it's more like tunes, kind of like you would hear like on a radio as it's going back and forth. It's sort of just like out and in and out and in. It's sort of like like a CB radio or regular radio, just kind of a communication system. So it kind of just, a humming of that nature. And that's how he's going to try to attempt to call the spirit into the circle, into the ritual space.
Now, at this ethereal junction, here at this crossroads, you feel it as you begin to, start this summoning. And at first, it's as if it's moving in the leaves. Spaces of shadow extend. And while you're speaking, the words echoing through the trees, you feel as if the branches themselves in the wind that is beginning to pick up are echoing the chant that you have started. This thing that you had seen at the diner earlier, Ed, materializes out of these shadows, being pulled into this summoning. And it looks around, and these guttural sounds of shrieks, almost simian in nature. Looking around, you see the face now made up of multiple pieces of skull. Various eye sockets with no eyes. A jawbone where the teeth are made up of countless jawbones. Opening and closing as it turns and looks around, and then focuses on your group. And with that yell that you heard in the gas station, or not the gas station, but in that rest stop, it just shrieks, angry. The fingers that it has, these things made of femurs, are sharpened to points, and it starts to come at you.
So, I can bind this creature to the ritual space. I feel like that takes some time.
Yes. Let me verify with that really quick. All right. So the way it's written up, it's that it's the length of a scene. So I'm going to say you have 3 actions. Everybody's going to get
Alright.
3 rounds. We'll go ahead and do it that way to finish this out as this creature advances.
Alright, so I'm going to spend my 3, and Dom is going to start the binding ritual, which basically requires, maneuvering around the circle to try to create the space to keep the creature in it. That's that first move for him.
All right. So the creature is going to, seeing this ritual taking place, advance eyes, these empty sockets, kind of zeroing in on Dom and begins to approach. Is anyone else going to be doing anything?
I immediately
Sounds like
throw
guys, I can
myself
use some
between.
help here. Yeah.
I immediately put my body in between the creature and Dom. Immediately. And I'm messing around in my pocket, waiting for it to get closer.
Okay. It turns its attention to you then, and will try to grip you with its, with these talons coming in, made of, like these long bones that are over a foot long. So it's going to come in close, and it's going to try and hit you. So I believe for this test, I'm trying to remember, it's not brawl, it is, let's see, sorry, just 1 second.
Kind of sounds like brawl, John.
Yeah, it is brawling, sorry. So it is
Sounds
brawling.
like brawling to me.
So
You know what?
Yep.
In my heyday, I was mighty formidable. It's one of my talents.
It's going to start off, it really wants to grab you, and I'm going to spend 4 in the bidding.
5.
5. It's going to go ahead and take it up to 7.
8.
Ooh. It looks at you, and how would you like to describe it? I will let you pay the 8.
As it comes forth, I don't move. I'm a statue. And right at that very last second, the youth returns to my feet because I do not have a physical body in this place. But as a young man, I was quite the boxer, and from my pocket, I pull out the frozen chunk of the Charleston shoe, and like a roll of quarters, I crack it right in the jaw. And teeth go flying as now the Charleston shoe is here gaining weight to my punch.
Nice.
All right. What about for you, Danny?
So, one of my talents is armed combat. So, when I see that the creature is moving on Dom, I'm going to reach into my backpack and pull out a decent-sized wrench. I'm just going to take a swing at what I assume is going to be its knee.
Okay.
Try to keep it so it won't move towards Danny or to Dom anymore.
All right. It's going to be. We're going to go with the dexterously moving out of the way. It just lifts its leg out of the way, try and make you, kind of whiff on that. And I'm going to spend 5.
So I get the +1 for the armed combat.
Mm-hmm. So
So
you automatically have, 1 with that.
I'll do 6.
Oof. I'm going to go ahead and say 9.
Go big. I'll do 10.
All right. I will let you strike. 2, 3. The wrench hits it in the front side or back side of the knee. Are you trying to to just smash it, or are you trying to sweep it?
Smash it. So we'll go with the front. Like coming. So the creature tries to lift its leg out of the way, and I kind of just alter my aim a little bit and just come straight down on like where I think the kneecap would be.
All right. So, bring it in, you smash it, and this cries, but falls forward. It now is on the ground level and turns its head towards you. And so we are now going to, it's just hunched down on its hands and it looks over at you. I should put it that way. Second round. So, continuing the ritual.
Yeah. So now he's managed to make one circle around, and he has to make 3. So Dom's just going to continue, and it gets a little louder what he's trying to do. Like, if he goes around the circle 3 times, he can find the creature. So he's hoping that they can distract it long enough to let him finish binding it. So he's kind of trusting the others to do that and continuing on that.
Okay. So, moving over. Graham.
So I've been using Apostle to communicate peace. Simple. But what I want to do is I want to turn the dial all the way to the other side, and I just want to overwhelm every sense of this thing. You said it had tons of eyes? Right? Isn't that what you said?
It's like the sockets, the orbital sockets of skulls, multiple of them.
Great.
Like, yeah.
Absolutely. Well, every one of those eyes is going to be magnified with way too much information all at once. I'm going to be blasting my consciousness straight into his. So it's not a physical battle anymore. It's going to be something that it has to maintain my will versus it.
I like it.
I am a wayfarer, and this is my thing. I have been slowly turning into a strange, and this is it. This is me tapping into the place that I'm becoming a little more than our reality.
All right.
Nice.
Is this a narrative, or is this a power your character has?
So my talent being apostle is what I've been using to communicate. So I'm kind of leveraging that.
All right.
I do have something in which I get, if I'm gambling, I thought about it literally. I was thinking about saving it for next round though, and
No
being
problem.
like, how risky does gambling consider to you, John? But right now it's the communicate and reach out in the strange thing.
All right. You take its attention with this move as you blast into its consciousness, and we're going to bid on that. You're using Apostle,
Yeah,
obviously.
we are. Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3. Let's start the bidding at 6.
7.
7. 9.
How many nickels do you guys have? Good lord!
No, they've gotten some from me, and
I have stacked the deck, which allows me to use my strangeness to get like free nickels that get provided by the person.
I'm like,
Because I'm really
yeah,
strange,
yeah.
I'm also really good at doing stuff, I guess. But
Oh, that's good. I was like, wow, holy crap, I've used most of mine.
now the thing is that when you run out of strange, your character becomes a part of the strange. When you have used up all your strange, you are no longer human. You're now a part of this other world. So there is a cost to it. All right. Goodness. Let's go for 12.
no,
All right, you got 12 coins coming to you.
I'll take 12. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, and
Final
thank
round?
you.
Yeah.
I will take 12.
All right, it pushes back against you, and it's going to essentially do the equivalent of 1 health damage to your character. So I believe, yeah,
I have it here. Underneath my strange is my health.
there you go. So a little bit of,
Jiminy Cricket!
yeah. All right, and over to Dan.
I think Dan doesn't have the same knacks that Ed does. None of my talismans are going to help right now, so I'm going to look at the wrench and like, well, you worked the first time, and I'll just take another whack at it.
Why not?
I like you being like, I have Newt, no, disembodied rat head, wrench it is.
How high do you want to start your bid?
Unfortunately, since I spent everything last turn, 2.
I'll spend 3.
All right.
So this time it moves out of the way quickly enough to dodge that wrench. And it will go ahead and, yeah, I didn't describe it to use a different skill that time or different talent. So you don't take any damage, but it rears back up out of the way of your strike.
And then I get those 3 then, right?
Yes, you do.
Okay, cool.
So now you have, it's that ebb and flow. Now you have
Yeah.
coins for the next time. All right, and finally with Dom. We're on that 3rd round.
All right. Yeah. So one more time around, I guess. But I am gonna need, if I'm gonna banish this thing, I need to do something because I only have one coin left, and I need 3 to banish this thing. So I have no idea what my options are for
All right.
that.
Well, technically, did you already spent your strange necessary for the ritual? Yes. Or,
Well, I didn't spend my strange.
Oh,
I
okay.
spent my nickels. I spent my
Ah.
nickels for the ritual, but the ritual only binds it. And I thought maybe I just could banish it, but apparently the process has to be
Bind
I
and
do the
banish.
crossroads ritual, bind and banish, because I can banish a mountain creature, which cost me 6. So I did the 3 to bind it to that area, but I'm gonna need 2 more because I only have 1 left. So I need to do something. Maybe fail somehow to give me a little bit of
Yep.
an edge, to give me stuff for next time to bind it, because I already spent the 3, so it's gonna be bound.
Yep.
But I'm willing to take some kind of consequence, to bet to give me some nickels, I suppose.
All right.
Well, I think I might be able to help. Is this
Oh.
considered a lesser creature at all? Or is it not?
Not technically. What do you mean
Okay,
by
then-
that, though? Are we talking about not a major Nexus spirit?
I can make a spirit bottle that would that can trap can trap a single ghost, spirit, or lesser creature of the strange.
It can work on this one, yes.
So
Great.
if I can trap it, is that considered it bound, and then Dom can just banish it at that
Well, if
point?
I bound it, yeah. Well, I'm already binding it, so if I
Okay.
bind it, can you capture it?
Yeah.
And then that would kind of nullify it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I could bind it to get
Yeah.
it to stop attacking, so
And-
that you can.
In the full write-up of that item, it will hold it, and it will hold it for a time, but it will constantly be trying to escape. And at the end of the scene, like whenever the scene ends, it might be able to burst out of the glass.
Yeah, so maybe it's not an option.
Well, it can be. But let's get through this round really quick,
Yeah.
and we'll talk about that. So
Right.
you're finishing up your binding ritual. Going over to Ed for Graham. What are you doing?
And Dom's gonna be
Um,
like, I don't think I have enough to banish it with binding this thing. He's trying to communicate that, like, we're in a situation.
Um, so
Yeah,
I have a ton of nickels.
you do.
And so I want to become like a lightning rod for the ritual and like provide some of those nickels, kind of really get, it's all about family, right? That's our sub theme for
Yeah.
this. We're all protecting each other as wayfarers. And so I'm going, as Dom is calling out for help, I'm gonna step away from this monster. Violence is not the answer. What we bring together as a group is the answer. And I'm going to go and I'm going to enter a quote trance-like state unquote and use my long knowledge, and I'm gonna pour that strange. I'm gonna use all my strange except for one. I'm gonna be right on the cusp of losing myself completely to this, and I'm going to pour my edness, my identity, my personhood into the ritual in order to secure it.
Sweet.
How many nickels do you want, Dom?
I need only 2. I need 2.
Here's 2, and I reach out my hand and give you 2 nickels.
Yay!
I love it. You know me, I'm real cool on everything on that. So
Nice. I feel
Well,
like
that's all that can
rush
work
of,
for
like,
me.
now I can banish this thing.
all right. So you finish the ritual and you enact that banishing. Were you going to try and use that glass as well with it, just to get it in there for Dan with Sean?
I think with it being bound, and then Dom's gonna be able to banish it, so I don't think there's a need.
Okay. So
Since
it
we found a way around it.
shrieks, and it's almost as if the ritual that you feel that feeling, that almost enveloping, coming around you and sweeping past this, like it is being smothered, held in place. And then you finish that banishing ritual, and a portal begins to form. And it shimmers and crackles with otherworldly energy. And slowly, the creature's limbs are elongated and twisted. Sharp protrusions jutting out from the joints, the skin that covered its body, this little kind of almost rags that were on it, began to turn mottled and leathery, pulling as well into this portal. And with a final anguished cry, the being is forcefully dragged through the portal, twisted limbs flailing in the air as it disappears. And the portal closes behind it, leaving no trace of its presence. Only a lingering sense that it was there to begin with.
Ah.
Dom just kind of collapses into the grass, like face first. That was a lot.
I'm staring ominously into the sky and saying nothing.
All right. You're all kind of falling there in this, in this nexus. And this, it's gone. It's a little peaceful. But you hear a sound. Sound of something being dragged along the ground through fresh earth.
Mel, put that down. What did I tell you about picking up stuff you find on the ground?
I don't like that sound. Dom picks his head up.
Mel?
Mel is just staring at this man wearing disheveled clothing and dragging a box into the clearing by a silver chain.
I'm gonna pick up the bones. Oh no, is it gone? Is the thing gone? What did we do to it exactly?
Yeah, gone. Yeah,
It's
it went
gone.
through the portal.
Like it got flushed. Yeah. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Mel yells out, "Give me Kieran. Give me Kieran." Tears streaming down their face as they see this man. And
Dom goes to stand next to Mel. He's gonna go stand there, ready for whatever.
he lets go of the chain and looks at your group and says, "You must know the price first. He looks over in the direction of the village. The town that you've left behind. He's like, I am theirs. Their doom. Long ago, they made a decision. Chose to take those things that would age them. That would end their town, that would take away everything from them. And they wrapped it in flesh and cloth and gave it a form of me. And then they set that creature to keep me away so that I could never approach and bring the doom that they have all been avoiding for so long. So I've had to collect other dooms. I've had to collect the other things that make people grow old. The things that we care about, and the people who make us want to live with them and grow old. I can let you have your friend. But when I open that box, their town is done. It's your choice. And Mel kind of collapses to her knees with that.
Dom will put a hand on their shoulder.
What about the rest of you?
Can't make this decision for you, Mel.
I will tell you this, it sounds like the town tried to make a deal and get out of it. It seems like if you choose to open the box to release Kieran, that's their own fault that the doom's gonna fall on them.
Honestly, I'm kind of with Danny. I mean, when you try to avoid the natural course of things, that never goes well.
And especially never goes well when you make a deal with the strange and try to back out on it.
I will not pretend things are that black and white.
I didn't say it was black and white. I'm just saying they're trying to avoid the natural course of the world and time and decomposition itself. And that can create unintended consequences like the one that we're dealing with right now. Who knows how many people the Bone Keeper has had to take that were before their time simply because the town decided that their fate was not their fate.
Mel looks up from that. How many more? And the Bone Collector looks at her and says, many. What happens to them? If nature is righted, those who could still be alive will be here. Those whose times have passed will not. And Mel swallows hard and finally declares, I want my Kieran. And I want other people who had the same thing that they went through to have their people back too. And the man this nods and goes to the coffin, opens it up, and with a kind of a whooshing of the air, it's like there are forms that are neither light nor smoke fly out. And at the same time, there is a rushing of wind, and it flies into the coffin, and it closes. Young man stands next to Mel, and the two of them embrace. Now, for your group, though, you gonna make your way back to the truck?
Mhm.
You set back for the road,
Mhm.
walking as you came and through the town. The buildings are older, whitewash is faded. A man in a set of overalls, blue faded overalls with holes, swinging on a swing, waves
Mm.
as you walk by, continuing to swing.
Mm.
William.
Mm.
Ed. And you finish your journey. And that is where we're going to call it for the night. So,
Yay!
interesting game, interesting style game. I definitely have to say, it is that's more storyteller based style, and I think you can really tell some beautiful tales with it. So I hope
Oh, yeah.
everybody enjoyed it, had a good time, and hey, there are some wonderful indie games out there. This I really look forward to coming when it gets released. It will also have both the game book, but it's also on the backer kit listing that it will have a game mastery book. So for the people running the games themselves,
Nice.
Oh.
I think it's going to be a really really useful resource, and I am excited about it. But in the meantime, I just want to turn it over to my players and let them all say if you've got anything that you want to shout out or anything coming down the pipe for anyone that you want to say anything before we go.
Oh. I'm going to be at LoCon in Los Angeles in September, and we will be doing some High Caster and Dungeon Caster there, done by Sundered Holds Victorium Games, and all of that with Christopher Gray. So if you're interested in that D&D without the D&D, definitely come and stop by if you're in the Los Angeles area on Memorial Day weekend.
Nice.
For sure. Yeah. And I had super fun with this. I love the vibes. It kind of feels like Supernatural a little bit. So I kind of like that. So I like the very vibe. I like the vibe. It's very
Yeah,
cool.
I think it's a game that also is definitely built more for that. I can see this for a campaign because I think
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think the pacing would change and the influx of the tokens would mean a lot more too. So.
Wow. Yeah, and I'm thinking about the cool stuff you could do. Like you can have like a road trip playlist and like a map of the United States, and
Ooh.
like as your campaign goes on, you're like putting pins in it of things that happen and stuff. I think that would be cool. Like lots of cool postcards. You could do little
Oh God,
postcards and
yes.
have cute little game. Stuff like that.
Hunter
Cute little
journals.
things
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Well, Graham, how about for you?
I have a game coming out in spooky season, which may or may not be of a similar vibe to this. It's called Under the Autumn Strangely. It's a pastoral horror game set in a land that never was. Full of anachronisms, and horror of the American experience, influenced by Over the Garden Wall. I was just at Gen Con with Matthew Orr, and we did a 15-minute game jam. We made a game in 15 minutes. That's on the Wedding Games YouTube channel. And I co-host a game design podcast called Desks and Dorks. So check us out. Desks and Dorks is the name of the podcast, and go to the website desksanddorks.org.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And Sean, what you got coming? You got I know you've got a couple of actual plays you're on, but
Yeah, I've got a couple of actual plays that are coming up. One of them is a modern Cthulhu horror story.
yes. Let's go ahead and drop that.
Yeah. Sorry if I
so-
didn't. I'm sorry if
No,
I
no,
wasn't
I
supposed
was hoping you'd bring that one up. So, ladies and gentlemen out there in the land of chat, if you're watching at any point, we are going to be hosting Cthulhu Dreamt. This is a Kickstarter that is currently happening that we have had the opportunity to talk with the creators thereof, and we're going to be hosting their Springfield mission here on Rook and Rasp. We're going to be doing it this coming Thursday night. So on the cast, we actually have Revna from our Alien games coming in to run it as the GM. I'll be working behind the scenes, getting everything in, and we'll also be trying to feature the soundtrack that is coming with the Kickstarter. So definitely be there for that. Other than that, everybody pretty good?
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
just
Got
also
everything?
say if you want to see my journey in mini painting, you can hit me on Instagram at bink_26. And those are the things that I got going on.
Absolutely. All right, everyone. Well, thank you so much for coming out and joining us. And hey, seriously, let's play.